Hello and good day to yous. Welcome back to Spirit Hunter Deathmark. Alright, we don't have much left to do, so let us finish things up. And for clarification, I did go back and I saved the girl, and once again, nothing's really changed. Right, we are with Banshee on our way to the mansion. Oh, I think he had somewhere else he wanted to go. Nope, the mansion's out of the way. Banshee clambers into the back seat of the car. His heavy scent fills the enclosed space. Oh, jeez. Almost forgot again. I can finally catch my breath. Now then, driver, take us to the forest by H Castle. I drive down the familiar road. All lights along the way are strangely green. Is there a gas leak in the area? We reach our destination without me having to slow down the car once. The engine chugs along. I feel the wheels of fate turning like those of the car I'm riding in. 10 days ago, I promised, in exchange for you buying me an extra order of almond jelly, if you did forget everything, I'd take you to H Shrine. Sounds like I prepared for everything. But if I was that careful, why didn't I leave myself a clue? Why prepare if I was just going to forget? Did the curse progress faster than expected, so there wasn't time? Or did someone get rid of it? But if I had business at H Shrine, why didn't I go there while I still had my memories? Something about timing. Waiting for some magic summer cleaning to clear away impurity. Suddenly, my old self echoes in my head. I speak the words out loud slowly, as realization dawns. The summer purification rites. They're rites held at shrines to exorcise evil. On the last day of June, you pass through woven reeds to cleanse yourself. I was trying to use that ritual to exorcise the impurity. Ah, gotcha. Luckily, today's the 1st of July, so the rites or whatever are done. Should be no problem now. Exorcise the impurity, huh? What kind of impurity was I trying to cleanse? The more I learn, the less I understand. My previous self is like a complete stranger to me. How many times have I come to this forest now? Not counting the times that I had to run back to grab another partner? 3? Oh, and I suppose there are the times I'm forcibly ejected, like the, Shimi O chasing us out of the park? The creepy arc and the thick trees look the same as always. You know where H Shrine is, yeah? Lead the way. You've never been there? First I heard of it was 10 days ago. Banshee and I push through the vegetation and make our way down the beast trail. We pass under the stone torii gate. And finally arrive at the desolate H Shrine. The few headless Buddha statues that are left shine in the light of the flashlight. So the statues used in the project were stolen from here? Yeah, that's right. Is it really true the statues are connected to the mark somehow? I've considered the possibility that the mark was caused by their divine wrath. But 10 days ago... You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her. This course I've been following this whole time. Then, at some point, I had to have been fed some huge lie. But what could it be? A shudder runs through me at the thought. It feels like I'm looking into the depths of hell. You said 10 days ago that altar holds something important. Something about needing to keep it here to exorcise the impurity. He approaches the small altar and puts his hand on the sliding door. Huh? What's going on here? The thing's empty. Don't ask me. It was already gone when I was here earlier. Well, that's darn weird. You said there was a cloth pouch. What was inside? A small fist-sized statue. A Nenjibutsu or something. It was the ghost Shintai for the shrine. The Kujo had used it in the shelter to stop the mess 50 years ago. And again, it's the Kujo family. They must have strong ties to the mark. Well, this is about all I can do for you. At least it was enough to pay off the dessert. We should head back, son. Right. I'm still unsure about what my old self was thinking, but it's clear whatever plan I had didn't work. Where did the Nenjibutsu go? On the way back, I feel reluctant to go. I keep turning to look toward the shrine. Each time I do, Banshee hurries me on to the forest entrance. Why, old man? Just want to get out of here? Played your part? Well, this is where we part ways. You're not going to ride back with me? I'm going to be honest with you. I got a bit car sick on the way here. Flat roads were fine, but the curves and hills did me in. I just got a nice meal, and I'd hate to throw it up, so I'll walk back. But it's pretty far from here. Kids are such wimps these days. When I was young, I used to walk across the Himalayas all the time. This ain't nothing. Take her easy, Banshee. His laugh is loud enough for the whole forest to hear. He waves and leaves me alone. Once he's out of sight, I get into the car. I pull out of the deserted parking lot and drive back to the mansion. As I count the streetlights passing by, I go over everything Banshee told me. 50 years ago in the shelter, the cannon soldier went berserk, but it wasn't because of the army's experiments. It was her. Just looking at that word, berserk. Are you allowed to spell it with or without an R, or does that make it a different word? The army was unable to stand up to the threat of her and the soldier, but the Kujo family had used the Nenjibutsu to settle everything. However, she still exists in this time period. She was the one who gave me my mark. Before I lost my memories, I was planning on using the Nenjibutsu like they did before. I left it at H Shrine so it could be cleansed of its impurity. But somewhere along the line it went missing. The past me probably couldn't have predicted that would happen. I'm almost back at Kujo Mansion. As my drive comes to an end, I focus on what the most important detail is. That's right. Who she is. I have a hunch about her identity, but I can't be sure yet. And that definitely proves that she was there. 50 years ago, she made the cannon soldier move down in the shelter. The Kujo family's head sealed her. It would have brought her to the mansion. The sacred objects for the project, of which she was the one, were returned to the Cujos. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. If there were any way to defeat her, it just has to be in the mansion. I don't have any solid proof, but the fragments of my memories are whispering to me. I had my suspicions about this fortune teller, but I'm starting to feel like it's a certain someone else. The entrance doesn't look any different. My mark burns. The sharp pain nearly brings me to my knees. She's here. It seems she has no intention of hiding her presence any longer. Okay. Put a save here. Hey, you weren't sitting there a second ago. I just wanted to look at the couch, because, yeah. So, we meet again. Mary's voice is soft. I know now. Behind those words is hidden an intense lust for blood. You came back to life rather quickly. You gave me nearly a whole day, more than enough time. I admit that Rabbit's attack surprised me, but unexpected events can themselves be rather enjoyable. When I'd brought Mary to H Shrine, we caught sight of the rabbit there. It might have suspected Mary's true nature. That rabbit, its great love for you pushed it into recklessness. What was that rabbit, really? Determine that for yourself. Who are you? Know that, and the answer will come. Though it is impossible so long as you bear the mark I gave you. Mary gave me the mark. I had a hunch, but hearing it from her lips fills me with dread. Just what are you trying to accomplish? Dragging the living to the depths of despair before killing them. Yeah, I should know this. I believe I explained that it is a spirit's utmost desire and joy. She's really savoring this meal. And I had your cooperation with achieving that. Cooperate? That's ridiculous. Oh? Have you not realized yet? You did bring those pathetic mark-bearers directly to the spirits, did you not? Hi, bride lady. They feared the spirit's existence, trembled in the face of death. I savored the taste of that fear and despair, most delicious. You would all of us help out, just to terrify the mark-bearers even more? Clearly. I could have waited for the curses to complete if I only wanted them dead. That is not the only lie. Mark-bearers must stay in small groups. Do not contact outsiders. All my instructions were to drive you into a state of emergency. And not once did you doubt me. I bet she's telling me all of this because she wants me terrified with how hopeless the situation I find myself in is. I'm frozen in place, and I know my fate must be as pale as death. She must be loving this. Don't tell me you created all those spirits just to accomplish that. Indeed. When Lady Christie believed divine wrath was the cause of the mark, I had never been more amused. Her foolishness was so delightful, I just had to come along with you. So you lied. Of course. How could a pile of broken statues possibly do anything? I could be imagining it, but I feel like she hesitated for a moment there. Is she herself not a statue? And was I not... Did I not just defeat a half-woman, half-statue spirit? Well, I'm not sure how much that's actually the, remnants of the statue's wrath. 50 years ago, I was sealed away by the head of the Cujo family. I awoke here 5 years ago. At the time, I was still unable to speak and communicate. But it seems my awakening alone caused a number of ripples. Those who died unfortunate deaths on cursed land became monstrous spirits. The H elementary abuse, the honeybee mass suicide, Seiko's assault and suicide. That elementary school was abandoned 5 years ago as well? Or within the last 5 years? Damn. Really went to shit. They all happened 5 years ago. I finally regained my full power a little over a month ago. Then the Buddha statue connected to me 50 years ago began moving. The woman killed by the statue was also influenced by my power. That must be the cannon soldier in Zukawa. Zukawa believed it was divine oracle from the soldier, when it really had been Mary. She did as the great Asura said, and transformed herself into Miss Zu. Once my strength returned, I again bestowed my power on spirits. It connects humans to me, and manipulates them into a panic. The mark. I know you've been toying with us. But, well, was there really a need to make us be connected to you in some way? Of course. By being in direct contact with you, I could taste your fear. Even now. Are you scared of me, Lord Yoshiki? No, not really. Very admirable. You, ooh, you got a little... Her porcelain face cracks. Ever since you declared that you would fight the mark, I have waited eagerly for this day. Over the past 10 days, I have tasted your fear through the mark. Thick and syrupy, as sweet as honey. Each savored morsel made me want to smash you to pieces. But I waited. I am not so foolish as to kill a goose that lays golden eggs. But I cannot take it anymore. Like crushing a ripe fruit and sipping its juices. I want to break you down and savor your sweet fear. Nasty. The biggest lie of all, she can run. The mark has dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. Okay, we're right at it now. Just a sprint. My thoughts blur together suddenly. What happens to a mark bearer right before dawn? I've seen it many times. Is that what's happening to me now? Lord Yoshiki, wait for me. I'll kill. I can hear Mary stand up over by the sofa. At this rate, the rabbit's fate will be mine too. I have to run away. Check within the red, in my room. Something whispers in my ear. That's right, that voice. But what does my room mean? Focus. Who does that voice belong to? Yasuoka. She said it was someone who loved me. Mary's coming closer. Where should I run? I don't remember who MK... Oh, Matsuyoshi. Saya's room's the only one I remember with any red in it, right? Go check the blood puddle. I sprinted full speed up the stairs and fly into Saya's room. Whew. Much like the entrance hall, it's dark. The voice said check within the red in my room. Is something there? But where should I look? Have you not checked this room top to bottom? Oh. Hey, Lolo, how you doing? But where should I look? The floor. Yeah, desk and bed would have mattered for... Well, I guess... Yeah, desk and bed would have mattered for MK's room. Sayakujo's bloodstain is still on the floor. It's obviously dry by this point in time. There might be something lying on top of it. I can't be sure, as it's too dark. Nothing was there the last time I was here. Picking it up, I discover that it's a small pouch. Ah, there it is. Inside is a hard, thin object. I move over to the moonlight to see it better. Another headless statue, covered in hair. Gross. It's a small Buddha statue. We livin'. For now. It can't be. Is this the Nenjibutsu? It seems to be stained with blood. I can get an ominous feeling from it. The impurity. It hasn't been exorcised yet. Too soon! It was pulled out too soon! I instinctively know the instant I see it. My mind is suddenly flooded with all of my memories of the Nenjibutsus, one after another. 50 years ago, the head of the Kujo family used this to seal Mary's power. He put the Nenjibutsu inside her to seal her. Then, about a month ago, someone took it out. That person was me. Because of that, Mary regained her powers. The Nenjibutsu in my hand looks exactly as it did back then, full of impurity. Does it anywhere here? No, I don't think the scene has changed. Impurity that's built up from sealing power, Mary's power for 50 years. To cleanse it, I left the Nenjibutsu at the uncontaminated 8 shrine. It would take time to exorcise all of the impurity. It's already July. The summer purification rite is over. So why is it still impure? The object the rabbit had in its mouth could have been carrying the pouch then instead of the master key. Then the Nenjibutsu was taken away from 8 shrine before the beginning of July. Maybe the rat saw Mary by the shrine and was scared that she would find it. So had no choice but to steal it away. The door of the adjacent room opens. Mary must be looking for me. But she can sense the presence of mark bearers. What's going on? Wait, is it possible that Saya's blood is protecting me? Bring it to where I met my end. Did she not die here? The voice whispers in my ear again. If this isn't where the voice's owner died, they must have met their end elsewhere. There's only one other place. While Mary is in the room next door, I sprint down to the entrance hall. I make a beeline to Mary's sofa and spot where the rabbit died. Yeah. The voice that spoke to me and helped me every time a spirit was closing in. If Saya was working through anything, it must have been that rabbit. Sensing something, I look down at my hand. And now it's good. The Ninjibutsu's impurity is gone. Is this what you've been telling me, Saya? I speak to the departed woman who's guided me as I struggle without memory. Put the Ninjibutsu, the source of the doll's curse. Press it to the black mark. Then, the whispers stop. The floorboards creak ominously. I raise my head to the staircase, rising into the darkness before me. A dark figure stands on the landing. I found you. Ooh, got a couple more of those now. Oh, I can make out the stuff in the background a little bit better. Just a lot of damned souls crying out in pain, it looks like. Mark scorches me. My head goes blank. She coming. Mary's coming closer. My body won't listen to me. Lord Yashiki. Mary closes her hands around my neck. She's trying to kill me. So fight back, dumbass. I squeeze the Ninjibutsu, and the fog that's impeding my thoughts lifts. It's still a struggle to think. I should be able to move my arm now. Put the Ninjibutsu on the source of the curse. I only have one chance. Where should I stick the Ninjibutsu? Right arm, right? Yeah. Yeah. Man, I am running low on time. I'm gonna have to make my decisions real quick now. I managed to drag my impossibly heavy arm and stick the Ninjibutsu on Mary's right arm. She's hiding it. But I'm sure that's where the black mark was. You idiot! That was a mirrored image! Surprise? Marks bloom on Mary one after another. They're all the color of blood. It's like they're the curses of those she killed. Yatta! How's your mark, dude? Mary shatters into dust. Did I really do it? I hesitantly look down at my right arm. It's clean! The mark is gone. I did it? I finally did it. I have to say it out loud to convince myself. A victory at the expense of Saya's life. I can't claim it's completely over, but there's no harm being relieved for now. The fog clouding my head clears away. My memories slowly return to me. I look around the dimly lit hall again. I know this mansion well, because I'm... The clock on the second floor begins chiming wildly like it did 10 days ago. When I make my way to it, it stops. almost as if it has a will of its own. That's right, this grandfather clock. I think a skilled ancestor of the Cujo family crafted it. That one chisel may have been used to make it. That's right, inside this clock. I open the door and stick my hand inside. My fingers brush something hard. You never checked the clock? Taking it out, I realize it's a voice recorder. I press the play button. It's a man's voice. A voice I know all too well. It's my voice. I decided to leave this record behind in case something should happen. That doll may dispose of any files or documents. I'm banking on her overlooking a piece of technology. As I listen, I start to remember recording this. I'd done it right before I received the mark from Mary. Now, where should I begin? It started 5 years ago, 2 years after I became Cujo family head. My sister Saya and I found the doll in a wood box while sorting the warehouse. The moment I broke the seal and saw her, I could sense something sinister. But it took a while longer to fully understand what she truly is. If only there had been records. But great-grandfather who sealed her didn't leave any before his death. Because of that, his descendants weren't told about the doll. I managed to learn the doll had been loaned to an army lab during the war. A strange old man who lived in an underground shelter told me. Then I went overseas to try to get more information on the doll. But I got into an accident while away and was presumed missing. So Saya became the new family head. I wasn't able to contact her until after she had inherited the title. It wasn't something worth contesting. So I explained everything and had her keep up the facade while I was missing. Public records still stated Masamune Cujo was very much alive, of course. I couldn't have used my passport or license otherwise. I'm off topic. Sorry. I only just returned to the country last week. Other psychics abroad all agreed it would be bad to leave the doll be. The Nenjibutsu inside the doll still suppressed its curse power, but I realized that it was almost at its limit. If I left it alone, it would crumble. Then it'd be impossible to suppress the curse of the doll. That was the worst-case scenario. But what was to be done? The answer I came up with was to remove the Nenjibutsu from the doll temporarily. Its impurity would be cleansed after a month stored in a pure area. And then I'll place it back in the doll. If I succeed, the doll's power will be sealed for a few more decades. But the problem is that 1 month. I have no idea what kind of curse will be released when the doll's unsealed. I'll do what I can to prevent disasters. But my power can't compare to the Nenjibutsu. I can't guarantee anything. There may be victims again, like the tragedy 50 years ago. But this is a necessary evil. It must be done in order to prevent even more people from falling victim. After this, I'll disassemble the doll and remove the Nenjibutsu. I pray everything goes according to plan and the worst of evils is avoided. I hope this record isn't needed. But if the one listening to this has a loved one who's fallen victim to the curse, then I'm very sorry. The recording ends there. Damn it. I clench my fist so hard my nails dig into my palms. Yes, the voice on the tape was mine, but I'm furious with it. I don't know that person at all. Oh, you still don't know who you are? The mark has claimed so many victims over the past month. I even lost my little sister, Saya. Was she just another inevitable victim that the voice spoke of? Do I forgive myself, or... Removing the doll does seem kind of like a stupid solution. I don't know why making another ninjutsu wasn't possible. Maybe our lack of spiritual power? It had to be done, but you could have been smarter about it. It had to be done. I'm Kazuo Yashiki, but I'm also Masamune Kujo. I understand why he felt as if he had to do that. It was his fate. The Kujo family are forever linked to that cursed doll. Yeah! 2 months have passed. The occasional cool breeze signals that summer is almost over. I've spent my time putting the case of the mark to rest as best as I can. I put Saya to rest by burying the rabbit, and contacted the surviving mark bearers. Oh man, so bright and sunny. Not used to seeing daytime. Putting the Buddha statues in places of honor was also one of those tasks. They weren't connected to the mark after all, but I couldn't just leave them there. Plus, there was no way Christie'd keep quiet about the statues. So with her guidance, and Yasuoka, Daimon, and Banshee's help, I carried the broken statues out of the shelter and returned them to H-Shrine. By now, my memory is completely returned. Things didn't quite go as originally planned, but at least the danger has passed. I don't think my decision as Masamune Kujo was wrong, but at times, waves of powerlessness and despondency overwhelm me. When I think of the victims of the mark, and of Saya in particular, my chest hurts. I'm surprised you still identify as Yashiki. You're only him for, what, 2 weeks? I want to do something for them as the new head of the Kujo family. About the memories I've regained. I became the Kujo family head 7 years ago. I'll admit, I was a bit of a recluse. I left the public appearances to Saya, preferring to stay out of the spotlight. The only photos of me are from small local newspapers. I uncovered Mary by accident in the family's warehouse 5 years ago. It was a discovery that changed my life. I traveled extensively abroad in order to learn more about Mary. In one country, I got into an accident and fell into a coma for half a year. Even worse, that country proceeded to treat me as an unidentified traveler. I don't know if that was merely my terrible luck, or if Mary's curse had something to do with it. When I was finally able to contact home, Saya had already become the new head. The rest was as the tape said. I had no idea that Mary's power was far greater than I had imagined. All of my efforts to suppress her power were completely useless. My memories unraveled faster than I thought. How did Mary come to be in the first place? One theory says a doll maker in the 19th century used magic to create her. Another says a spirit of a young girl who died prematurely took up residence in a doll. In the end, it's still a mystery. No one knows what happened to create a doll like that. We only know that each of Mary's owners died tragic deaths. Shortly after the turn of the 20th century, she came to be owned by the head of the Kujos. He either didn't know of the curse, or simply didn't believe it. Disasters began befalling the family. Mary gained enough power to become sentient and produced spirits. Then the tragedy in the shelter happened. The seething grudges of the experiment's victims and the Buddha statues. They may have triggered her awakening. Whatever Mary's true identity is, the fact remains she altered many people's fates. Mine and the mark bearers is included. Speaking of, an update on the surviving mark bearers. Oh yeah, I get after stories for other people I saved. Moi Watanabe became a part-time writer for her favorite magazine, Oop Arts Monthly. She sometimes comes to Kujo Mansion to interview me about spirits and ghosts. Tsukasa Yoshida is studying every day for the middle school exams next year. He bragged in his letter to me about how well he did in his national mock tests. Just a school child. Satoru Mashida bought me a drink like he promised. Seems he's thinking about becoming a private detective. He actually asked me if I wanted to join him. Was he serious? I don't know for sure. You didn't do bad. Sho Nagashima is picking fights, riding his bike, and doing whatever he wants, as usual. But recently, out of the blue, I heard he's joined his neighborhood's baseball team. Christy Aramura has started writing an essay exposing all of her past affairs. She's trying to get back into the industry. Suzu Morimiya was able to see her father. Lately, she started asking me for advice about how to get her parents to reconcile. I have no idea if I helped at all, but she says they sometimes have meals together now. Kid, I don't think it's gonna happen. The best you can do is come to an agreement. Leave on good terms. Ada Nakamatsu has gone back to surfing the BBS every day, as usual. But what's new is he's been stopping by the City Employment Center. I guess he wants to get a steady job and be a role model for Suzu. Best of luck to him. How's our favorite idol doing? A day doesn't go by that I don't see Ai Kashiwagi on TV as part of Love and Hero. She sent a ticket like she promised, but I need to drum up some courage to go to a concert for teens. Alone, at my age. You have an all-access pass. Close personal friends with the star. Toako Yasuoka is still working as a fortune teller in Ginza. Apparently, she believes I have spiritual powers or something. She keeps sending customers with spirit problems to the mansion. I wish she'd stop. Madoka Hiro spends her days working as a researcher while also visiting the shelter. Her and Banshee squabble a lot, but I wish she'd stop complaining to me about it. Shuju Daimon seems to be doing better now, like a weight's been lifted off his chest. He's in the process of convincing officials to publicize the shelter and build a memorial for it. Banshee Ito has returned to his beloved underground shelter. He stops by the mansion sometimes, filling the place with his scent. Of course, he comes to beg me for food. He did all that for you and you still treat him like a stranger? Hush, man. Now then. I finished my break and returned to the workbench in the corner of the room. Over the past 2 months, Mary has managed to repair herself. Her power hasn't completely come back yet, but she's still extremely frightening. The Nenjibutsu alone won't be enough to continue sealing her powers in the years to come. I must prepare extra spiritual measures. It's taken a long time to get those ready, but today I've finally finished. So you could have made something. Once everything is complete, I replace the Nenjibutsu inside Mary. Finally, it's over. I pick Mary up and put her in wood box. 5 years. This all started when I opened the lid of this box. Mary stares up at me from the depths of the box, I have no idea if she's aware of what's happening right now. But there's no doubt she'll regain her powers when the Nenjibutsu wears out decades from now. I'm determined to find a way to destroy this cursed doll before that happens. Until that day, you need to stay asleep, Mary. Yay! Oh, there we go. Game finish. It only took about an hour. I could have pressed to finish that on Friday, but I would have been really tired the next day. Not like I have anywhere to go on a Saturday. Cool, wow. Neat game. Mrs. Zoo's chapter was a bit odd, but apart from that, I'd say pretty solid all the way through. A nice ending. I'm a little sad that Mary ends up being evil, but what are you gonna do? I end up falling for the characters who end up like turning on you later, like, oh no, but we were friends though. Like, spoilers for Squid Game if anybody cares at this point. The old man was such a nice character, and made me cry, and then he's evil, and then I cry again. That's just how it goes. The gallery has been added to the title screen. You are able to view the game illustrations. I guess I can peer over, though. Will they just be like the highlight shots from the game, or am I going to see some development stuff? And now, a lot of time has passed. The muted chirping of insects gently drift along a breeze that enters the mansion. It's cool enough to sleep through the night again. It's nearly autumn after all. I stare out the window at the unchanging scenery without really seeing it. Clouds in the distance rumble with thunder. As if on cue, a chill wind brushes up against the window pane. Rain again, huh? I comment because otherwise it feels like I'm in a dream. It's as if a stranger is speaking. I stare at the leaden sky. Even though I'm resting in a chair, I feel like I'm somewhere far off. When I shift, I see out of the corner of my eye the stack of books piled on the desk. Some were pretty difficult to get my hands on, but I don't feel like reading them anymore. I could read all of them, and none will give me any type of value. That's all I've learned after all this time I've wasted. The longer I try, the further away it gets. That thing sleeping in the wooden box. I head downstairs to make myself some coffee. There's a sudden knock at the door. That hollow sound doesn't bring back good memories. It used to signal the arrival of new mark-bearers to the mansion. But that's in the past now. I swing the door open. Standing in front of me is... Hey, Moe! Hiya! Moe Watanabe. Is now a good time, mister? Oh, if it isn't, just tell me and I'll leave you alone. Yeah, it's fine. Moe flashes a carefree smile and steps inside with a pep in her step. Just her presence makes this place feel less gloomy. With a start, I realize that Moe isn't my only visitor. It's been a while. I'm sorry for coming without contacting you. Tsukasa, this is rare. Why are you here? It had been a while since we've met up, so we talked about what happened. And obviously the topic came to you. So I told him that I visit you a lot and that he should come with me. No big deal, right? I was just getting bored. Of course I don't mind. I was just getting bored. Yeah? I figured as much. You seem the type with time on your hands. I haven't seen them both together since the mark. Always come by sometimes for interviews and the like for an occult magazine. But this is the first time I've seen Tsukasa Yoshida since then. I wasn't really concerned over him, but I'll admit I'm relieved to see he's alright. I'm glad to see you're well. Have you gotten the chance to relax? I have. But aren't you busy with the entrance exams? Do you have time to waste doing this? Breaks are important. As an adult, you should understand that. Yeah, you're right. I glance over to see Moe staring at me. What is it? It's just, I'm working hard at my job, too. You don't have anything to say? Oh, I know you are. Trust me, I know you are. You've barreled your way in here several times already. That doesn't sound very encouraging. But no way am I a match for Tsukasa. He works crazy hard. He was first in the recent mock tests. That's only natural. After all, I have a goal. You do? I've never heard him mention it. Or maybe I should say I never expected him to say he has a goal. You have something you're trying to accomplish? My parents were lawyers, so I was thinking of entering the judicial profession, but... Was thinking, huh? Has he changed his mind, then? Wow, that's a cool dream. Jurassic... So you like dinosaurs, too? Tsukasa's glare is full of contempt. Not Jurassic, judicial, as in working and dealing with the law. Are you really in high school, Moe? Never been at a loss for words before. To be honest, now I'm not sure. If possible, I'd like to ask for your opinion, mister. Is that all right? I don't mind, but I'm kind of surprised. Who'd think Tsukasa would ask me for advice? I did save his life. That incident I was wrapped up in started it. Now I know there are so many incomprehensible things in the world. I'm considering going into science in order to elucidate them. But my parents, I feel that it would be difficult to tell them. Ah, I see. That's what's going on. It's a serious predicament. You don't seem like someone who has much in the way of work experience. But what do you think I should do? Ouch. I'll ignore that slight. Is it better to tell them now or to really think over your decision first? If you haven't made up your mind, then I would say tell that to your parents, but if you're planning on telling them that you're becoming a scientist on a whim without really thinking it over, I'd probably think it over more. Hard to say. Since these are one-sentence answers, and I don't know how they'll pan out. And it's hard to say if he wants to be a lawyer for his own reasons, because he looks up to his parents, or because he feels like he's required to? Do the responsible thing and think it over. Just don't take too long to tell your parents, I guess. It's difficult to say. Everything that happened could have just shaken him up. It might be good to talk it out with his family and think on it before deciding. So that's what I tell him. Good. Perfect. I see. It's true. I have time. Thank you very much. I feel a bit better now. I have no idea if my advice was really helpful or not, but Tsukasa bows politely to me. Great. You good now? Your future's bright, unlike this old guy here, so don't worry so much. That's not true. I'm sure he also has a bright... They both look at me. Nope. Can't picture it. But that's what makes him approachable, so he's good to vent to at least. But there definitely are things that only he can do. Honestly, I can't think of any myself. I can make a good pot of coffee, but that's not really what they're talking about. I mean, there's that doll. Tsukasa falls silent. Seems my expression gave me away. Have you not made much progress? Nothing I can share at the moment. I've researched everything I can. Mary's true identity is as elusive as smoke. I still haven't managed to find clues. So I'm taking a bit of a break right now. I'm glossing over it. But to be honest, any sort of tension has vanished. My rest hasn't relaxed me. It's more like I'm a balloon that's lost all its air. If I was risking my life and facing death every day, it might be different, but right now my determination to move forward that I had back then is gone. That's so. I'm sorry, I had no idea. Then it might be best for you to rest and relax a bit. How about a trip to improve your mood? You might get a good idea. I'm about to reply to that when... Oh, who could this be now? There's another knock at the door. Who could that be? Already forgetting who this would be. Oh, Mashida? Yes, who is it? Moe calls out... Oh no, that's her calling out. Moe calls out playfully like she lives here, and skips over to answer the door. I'm coming in. The brusque voice belongs to... Private Detective Mashida! The ex-detective, Sarado Mashida. Hey, what's all this? When did you start a daycare? Huh? Mr. Mashida, why are you here? Did you come to see us? Moe's clearly excited, but Tsukasa is collected as he bows politely. I'm in your debt for your help back then. Still, I'm surprised. I didn't think we'd be able to meet here. Mashida gives an annoyed shake of his head. I'm the one asking why you're here. Damn, we're going in circles now. Don't lie. I know you're happy to see us. You're always hiding your feelings. Oh, but what a huge coincidence. We've got everyone from the Hanahiko case back together again. This is totally destiny. I feel conflicted seeing her innocent smile. If everyone's happy after such a horrific event, then maybe it'll fade quickly to memory. Everyone, huh? In that case, one person, no, one being is missing. As he mutters, he glances at a spot in the room. It would be best to change the subject. So why are you here? I have something to ask you first. He answers me with a question like usual. Yoshiki, you told that fortune teller about my office, didn't you? Does he mean Toako Yasuoka? Yeah, it might have come up while I was talking to her about Mary. Why'd you have to go and do that? Now I'm drowning under investigation requests. Wait, does that mean...
Are you a private eye, Mr. Mashida?
Moe butts in, her eyes shining. She's not timid, I'll grant you that.
Wow, I guess you'd be pretty good at that. Oh, if you get an interesting job, bring me along with you.
Even Mashida can only blink at her innocence. And this is exactly why it's annoying. Still, when I think about it, Mashida's complaints don't make much sense. How could he be disadvantaged by my sharing his info with Yasuoka, who's incredibly famous? He himself said he was drowning under requests. I only told her about your office. What's wrong with that? Getting job requests is good, isn't it? But detective hates too many requests. Plus, he only just started. Even if he's insanely talented, there's no way he's already overwhelmed. It depends on what the request is about. The one I just got is the worst. Did he just hesitate? Mashida? It's your fault that this happened. So, Yoshiki. Yes? I'm going to have you help me. Help you? Wait a minute, what are we talking about here?
Can't you guess based on the context? I believe he's telling you he wants your help with the detective job. Wow, I can't really picture him working as a private eye, though. Now, if you were to investigate a supernatural phenomena, that would be Wait. Don't tell me. This worst request ever that you got.
We all hold our breath as we stare at Mashida. Exactly. A spirit might be involved. It's a good opportunity. This is what I heard from that old fortune teller. Oh, are you kidding me? There's another chapter? Oh. Oh, and look at that. My friend wants to play this game. No, this is totally for real, I swear. I think I saw something real bad on that Love Hotel street the other day. You heard about the Red Riding Hood girl? That rumor about people disappearing after entering the Love Hotel in K-City. On rainy days, this girl stands by the road like she's trying to get customers. Anyone who goes in the hotel with her ends up missing. And here's the kicker. Eventually they're found, but their heads are so messed up they can't even remember their names. Some end up dying in the hospital, and others jump in front of trains. I totally forgot when I was walking around at night the last time it rained. There was a girl in a red raincoat there, so I thought I'd chat her up. When I got close to her...
Tell me, are you...
She suddenly started whispering to me. I got real creeped out, so I bolted. No, I'm serious. I'm seriously glad she didn't follow me. Thinking back on it, something was odd. It wasn't raining that hard, but she was the only one who was soaked from head to toe. Later, I realized that raincoat was probably soaked with blood. Was it red? Or I guess Red Riding Hood, not a raincoat. That's all I was told.
I'm sorry, but I must say that sounds like a simple ghost story. The rainy shopping district and the red raincoat, rather suspicious.
Mashida ignores Ukasa, looking straight at me instead. It's enough to make me concerned. I'll leave the rest to you, Yoshiki. Why me? I'm bogged down with my other cases. I don't have time to spare. It's your fault that the old lady brought this to me. So you need to take responsibility. But...
Come on, you can help him out a little. I'll help too. The editorial department might have some info on a case like this. And your investigations need an assistant, right? Did you learn nothing, Miss Moe? Isn't this what put you in danger last time?
Last time? Those words draw my eyes immediately to a certain spot.
she's not here anymore. The same thing won't happen. It can't. But somewhere deep in my heart, I'm anxious. Don't work yourself up. It's more likely that it's just a lie. A bunch of it sounds like it was made up. That's why it's such a pain to have an absurd request like this brought to me. Mashida's right. It's highly likely the whole story was made up. If I had to point out anything concerning about it, it's pretty detailed for just a rumor. And it leaves the same kind of impression as rumors of real spirits. But it's better to be safe than sorry. If it does end up true, then we need to act now, yeah? Okay, I'll do it. I hoped you'd say that. We better get No, I'm going alone. What? No way, that's not fair. I knew she'd complain, but I can't put her in harm's way. Listen, Moe, I need you to search for info. I've got no way to research these rumors, but you have access to a lot more than me. Use your position to gather information. I really hate sitting out and watching you do everything. But if that's how I can help best, then that's what I'll do. This time. If you find anything out, though, tell me, okay? I promise. It's settled. Mashida takes out a notebook, rips out a page, and hands it to me. The address of the hotel, Masquerade. It's abandoned now, though. Meet there at 8, tomorrow night. 8 p.m. I have to go at a specific time? The client set the time. The old lady said she'd call and help, so it's probably a scheduling thing. I don't have time to handle this alone, then. Plus, this is Yasuoka. I'm sure he has some kind of plan in mind. Well then, I need to get to my other cases. Shoot, I've run out of time. They're so long-winded. I thought I was done with the game, but there's another chapter. Well, that's fine, I guess. I want to move on from this already. So, I think I'm probably going to end it here for Spirit Hunter Deathmark. So I did look into it. That was the end of the game, and then that was sixth chapter is like a DLC case. We did the main story. Good enough. What's happening? Oh, I was borrowing the game from a friend, and they want to play it right now, so I was kicked off. Haha. I could buy the game, I suppose. Eh. I've already played most of it. But that's fine. I got other stuff I want to get to. Because I've been taking too long to play these games as it is. So we're going to move on from this to something else. So I'm going to take a quick break here to get the next game started up. And yeah, we'll continue with that. So be right back.